Okay, excuse me. I have my pieces cut out. And then I'll show you a little tip when I go to glue them, what I do. But just another little tip when it comes to paper piecing. I have these, I think these were, well, these are Martha Stewart's. The real small one, they got a cover, and they got a real pointy tip. But it's easier to get into the real tight places with these. Boy, I gotta clear my throat. But that's, and then to do a quick one, I just use, I think these are Friskers. I've had these forever, but they work great. And the other tip that I can give you for coloring would be, is I made this book up, which I colored her, and I loved her. I put her on my cover. But anyways, for every color that I have a little mark for each Copic that I do have. And believe me, you do not need all these. Probably if I would have knew what I know now, I would not own as many. On the most part. But anyways, but that kind of gives you an idea. And then also what I did is back here, this is where I just started practicing, like the hair, different colors. And then I did some here. And then when I did do the coloring, I wrote down the colors that I used because, let's see, and I was still practicing, and this is a total different paper than what this is, which I didn't find this paper until later. But anyways, this is just that Georgia Pacific paper. Takes a little, more of the ink from the Copics to actually get them colored. Whether it's their face that I like, or like their eyes, I've got all that wrote down so that way I can go back and say, oh, I like, you know, these colors. And then there's, like some of these, like this one, I do not like. Would I use it again? Probably not. Not unless I practice a whole lot more. When it comes to the Copics, it takes practice. It's all I can say. If you're lucky, you can get it the first round, but most of these, no, I have not. And then, you know, like different skin colors, you know, I've wrote them down. And then, like, here in the back, like browns, and then cream, gold, dark, or dark brown, and then your reddish dark brown. These are the numbers that it takes. That's the other thing that I have done. And then your pinks, your reds. I just gone through and kind of found different things that I liked that would the images that somebody else colored and then wrote down those colors. Like for a screen, it takes, you know, a number of, to actually get it to look like a darker tree. But anyways, that gives you a kind of idea what I do keep this, and I do use this quite a bit as a reference. So if you think about ever doing some of them or getting into them, this would be a good idea to do. For her hair, I'm going to do it black, which I'm going to use W3, W5, W7, and W9. Some I use a little, and some I use a lot. I guess is an easy way of putting it. So I take the W3 and just go ahead and pretty much quickly give it a quick coat all the way around. And sometimes I will get a little fast, a little slap happy is what I call it. And then I wind up outside the line, which I'm sure I will by the end. That's W3. Next one is going to be W9, which is going to be all these, and I'm trying to get this so that I can see with you guys. And then I just give them a quick swish. And I know my hand gets in the way sometimes. And then I pretty much make a straight line, and then I just swish up. And then I will try to do the top like this, which I usually turn it around. And it makes it, well, it'll make it easier to see as you turn it. Sometimes I add just a little just what I think. And then I go to W5. And then kind of swish in between. And then go down around her face. And then back up. I find when I do color, I'm more quiet, in the most part. I find it very relaxing to sit and just color. Oops. Let's get some color up in here. Sometimes I do get a little slap happy or a little heavy handed. And then take your W5 and just kind of swish it. Let's see. Then I go back to the 3 and the places that are light. I go back and kind of fill that in. And one thing nice with you cutting it out, you don't have to be real picky. And then I'll go back to the darkest color just to add a little bit of darkness, because a lot of times I wind up losing it when I'm kind of like going through. And that's all I do is go back through and fill that in. And that's what her face and hair will look like. Okay, now I gotta find some colors find some browns that'll go for her shoes. And then, probably her leotards, or whatever you want to call those. I gotta try to find colors that match that as close as I can get. Alright, I'll be right back.